There is something ineffably stirring about the very idea of a day yet to come, a day that rests upon the horizon like a precious jewel waiting to be uncovered. Thursday, September the 18th, holds within it a promise that is not shouted from the mountaintops, nor proclaimed in the bustling markets of our cities, but whispers gently to the attentive heart. It whispers in a language older than words, a language understood by the quiet soul who pauses in the stillness of dawn to feel the cool air upon the skin, to watch the first light pour softly across rooftops, glinting on window panes, as if the world itself were being baptized anew in a delicate radiance. There is a majesty in this anticipation, not of grand proclamations or magnificent displays, but in the subtler, almost imperceptible revelation that every morning brings a new opportunity to behold the ordinary and recognize it as extraordinary. For who among us can truly measure the value of the dawn, when the first bird lifts its wings and sings a note that seems to carry with it the very breath of hope, a note that pierces the weariness of night and reminds us that life, in its unassuming and persistent grace, continues its quiet symphony. To think of Thursday as beautiful is to think first of the potential lying hidden in each moment. It is easy, perhaps too easy, to allow our minds to be entangled with burdens past or anxieties future, to lose sight of the present where all beauty quietly waits. Yet the mind that can pause, the heart that can open, will find within the ordinary motions of life a canvas painted in hues more vivid than the richest tapestry. A child's laughter at play, the subtle tremor of leaves in the gentle wind, the quiet recognition between two strangers who meet eyes for a fleeting second and share a mutual acknowledgement of the day's splendor. These are the treasures that Thursday offers, treasures too easily overlooked because they do not roar for attention but exist, serene and patient, awaiting discovery by those willing to see. One might argue that the anticipation of a beautiful day is folly, a kind of self-deception in a world filled with shadows and sorrows. And yet, it is precisely in this act of belief that beauty gains its most profound meaning. For to expect joy, to anticipate light, is not to deny the presence of darkness, but rather to affirm that even amid uncertainty there exists a thread of hope, delicate yet unbroken. Thursday invites us into this affirmation, as though the very hours themselves have been arranged to remind us of the simple truth that the world, despite all its tumult and fracture, continues to be a place where wonder can take root, bloom, and spread its fragrance through every heart willing to inhale it. Consider, for a moment, the ordinary miracles of morning. How the sunlight strikes the edges of clouds, painting them with colors that defy description, shades that no brush could capture yet, which stir the spirit with an ineffable warmth. How the breeze carries with it scents of earth and water, whispering tales of rivers unseen, meadows untrodden, and forests where the very air seems alive with quiet anticipation. The morning is a theater where countless small marvels play their part, each unnoticed by many, yet essential to the whole composition of life. To approach Thursday with eyes attuned to such miracles is to embark on a journey of quiet revelation, a journey that teaches us that beauty is rarely loud, rarely ostentatious, and yet, when recognized, leaves an indelible mark upon the soul. And yet, beauty is not merely in observation, it is in participation. Thursday calls upon each of us to become active witnesses, not passive spectators, of life's unfolding. To walk through the streets and meet neighbors with a smile that reflects the sun, to listen deeply to a friend's concerns, offering the gift of presence as a balm to the weary spirit, to take a hand, offer a word, perform an act of kindness without expectation. These, too, are threads in the tapestry of beauty that Thursday promises. For what is a day made beautiful, if not a day in which the heart aligns itself with the quiet rhythm of goodness and grace that underlies all existence? It is in the interplay between seeing and doing, between receiving and giving, that the day achieves its fullest expression. And in this interplay, we find that Thursday is not merely a point on the calendar, but a living, breathing opportunity to participate in the world's quiet grandeur. There is also in Thursday the promise of discovery, the kind that stirs the intellect as much as it does the heart. For each day carries with it lessons not found in books or sermons, but in the very act of living, the patience required to wait for a flower to bloom, the humility to acknowledge one's own limitations, the courage to embrace uncertainty, the wisdom to see beyond mere appearances and recognize the inherent worth in people, places, and things often disregarded. To meet the day with open eyes and a ready mind is to step into a world that is richer than any tale or fable. For in every corner, under every stone, in every fleeting glance, there is knowledge waiting, revelation awaiting, a subtle echo of the infinite contained within the finite. Thursday is beautiful because it reminds us that life itself is an education in grace, a curriculum designed not merely to instruct, but to enchant, to awaken the heart to the possibility that the world, in its simplest forms, is saturated with meaning and loveliness beyond measure. And so we arrive at the heart of the matter. The beauty of Thursday is inseparable from the state of the one who greets it. A heart steeped in bitterness, in resentment, in endless lamentation, may pass through the day as through a shadowed forest, seeing only the gnarl of twisted branches and the chill of wind. But a heart that is open, expectant, willing to receive, will find the very air itself alive with promise. The sunlight imbued with a song that seems composed solely for its ears, the laughter of children ringing like bells tuned to the key of joy. It is not the day alone that is beautiful, it is the meeting of the day with a soul prepared to recognize, to honor, to partake in its quiet marvels. Thursday, in this sense, is a call to consciousness, an invitation to awaken from the slumber of indifference and participate in the wonder that is ever around us, ever ready to transform the commonplace into the sacred, the fleeting into the eternal. Even the challenges of the day, those inevitable trials that seek to unsettle and perturb, take on a new character when approached with this awareness. What might have seemed insurmountable, what might have cast shadows long and cold, reveals itself as part of the intricate pattern of life's beauty, a pattern in which darkness serves to highlight light, and difficulty, paradoxically, becomes a vessel for grace. Thursday is beautiful not in spite of the trials it may bring, but often because of them. For the act of meeting adversity with courage, of carrying the heart forward with hope intact, creates a resonance of beauty that is at once profound and ineffable. In embracing the day, wholly and without reservation, we participate in a harmony that transcends circumstance, a music played upon the strings of human resilience, faith, and wonder. And so as Thursday approaches, we may prepare ourselves in the smallest, most deliberate ways, by rising with the dawn and greeting it with gratitude, by speaking words that uplift rather than wound, by observing the intricate designs in nature and human life alike, by seeking moments of silence in which the mind may wander, in which the heart may breathe freely, in which the spirit may drink deeply from the well of the ordinary transformed into the extraordinary. Every action, every glance, every choice made in awareness, carries the potential to honor the day's innate beauty, to magnify its subtle radiance, to allow it to leave an imprint upon the soul that endures long after the sun has set and Thursday has passed into memory. The promise of Thursday, September the 18th, is thus not a promise of perfection, for perfection belongs to eternity alone. It is a promise of presence, of attention, of openness to the currents of life that flow whether we notice them or not. To enter into the day with this consciousness is to find that beauty is not a rare jewel, hidden away in some distant land, but a gift lying at our feet. In the turning of a leaf, in the song of a sparrow, in the gentle murmur of a conversation that bridges hearts. To embrace this gift is to step into a story that is ongoing, in which we are both authors and characters, co-creators of a narrative suffused with grace, hope, and the quiet triumph of life's simplest pleasures. And as the hours pass, the sunlight shifts, shadows lengthen, and the ordinary rhythms of the world continue unabated, we may carry with us the awareness that Thursday is, in its essence, a day laden with the potential to awaken our senses, our spirits, and our capacity for wonder. It reminds us that the beauty of a day does not reside solely in what is seen, but in how it is perceived, in the attentiveness of the heart, in the willingness to rejoice in the fleeting, the humble, the oft overlooked. There is a sacredness in this perception, a recognition that life itself is a gift, and that within each day lies the power to transform the mundane into the marvelous, the ordinary into the extraordinary, the momentary into the eternal. There is a quiet, almost imperceptible wonder in the ordinary, in those moments that pass so lightly through our awareness that we scarcely notice them, and yet, when observed with care, reveal themselves to be laden with beauty beyond measure. Thursday, September the 18th, offers itself not in grandeur or spectacle, but in the subtle harmonies that dance between the mundane and the miraculous. The sun spills its light across the world, touching rooftops and treetops with a tender warmth that speaks not merely to sight, but to the deeper senses of the soul, awakening within us a recognition of life's persistent generosity. How often we walk through streets, carry out routines, exchange greetings, and yet miss the luminous thread that runs through every gesture, every sound, every movement of the day. Yet those who pause, who breathe, who allow themselves to inhabit fully the present, discover that even the smallest occurrences carry a radiance that can illuminate the heart. Consider, for example, the play of sunlight through the leaves of a tree, the way it casts dappled patterns upon the ground, shifting and shimmering as the wind stirs the branches. It is not merely a pleasing sight, but a lesson in impermanence, in the delicate choreography of nature that moves unceasingly and yet requires no audience to perform its song. To witness such a moment is to step into a deeper awareness, a consciousness that senses the grace embedded in all things, that sees in each flicker of light an echo of something eternal. The ordinary, so often dismissed as trivial, is in fact a repository of endless wonder, waiting to be recognized by the attentive heart. Thursday, then, is beautiful because it provides a stage for these quiet revelations, a day in which the commonplace is given the opportunity to shine with extraordinary clarity. Sound, too, offers its own gentle instruction. The hum of distant traffic, the soft murmur of a river or stream, the faint rustle of leaves. All are melodies that shape the texture of the day. They are often overlooked because they are constant, because we grow accustomed to them, yet they speak to a hidden order, a rhythm that persists regardless of human attention. The laughter of children, perhaps the most unassuming yet profound of all sounds, carries a resonance that can lift the spirit and remind even the most weary heart that life, in its simplest forms, continues to pulse with vitality. To hear such sounds, to allow them to fill the space of our awareness, is to recognize the beauty that underlies all existence, to participate in a quiet celebration of the everyday, and to carry with us the knowledge that Thursday is replete with moments that, while modest, are imbued with significance. And then there are the acts of kindness that, though small, illuminate the day with a light that is entirely their own. A door held open, a warm smile, a word of encouragement, a hand offered in support. These gestures, seemingly insignificant, possess a transformative power that is profound beyond measure. They remind us that beauty is not confined to what is seen, but is equally present in what is done, in the tender care extended from one person to another. Thursday provides countless opportunities for such expressions, and to recognize them, to participate in them, is to make the day beautiful not merely as an observer, but as an active contributor to the world's unfolding grace. Each kindness is a spark, and when multiplied across the hours of a single day, these sparks combine to illuminate a landscape that might otherwise remain dim and unnoticed. Even the simplest encounters with nature reveal layers of beauty that reward careful attention. The pattern of veins on a fallen leaf, the iridescence of a dragonfly's wings, the soft curve of a bird's flight across the morning sky. Each is a reminder that artistry and design are not confined to galleries or studios, but are present in the living world around us, waiting to be acknowledged. Thursday, in its ordinariness, becomes a teacher, offering lessons in observation, in reverence, in the capacity to be moved by that which is often ignored. To walk through a park, to linger beside a stream, to notice the tiny details that compose the texture of life, is to step into a form of worship that does not require words, but exists entirely in attentive presence and the willingness to receive beauty in whatever form it appears. Time itself plays its part in this subtle choreography. Each hour of Thursday is like a note in a symphony, a sequence that unfolds with an order both apparent and hidden, a rhythm that invites participation and reflection. There is a cadence in the rising and setting of the sun, in the shifts of light and shadow, in the ebb and flow of human activity, that when observed carefully, reveals a pattern of harmony that is deeply satisfying to the mind and soul alike. Those who are attuned to these rhythms find that the day becomes a living entity, one with its own character, moods, and expressions, offering a richness that cannot be measured in tasks accomplished or obligations met, but only in moments truly inhabited and appreciated. Furthermore, the beauty of ordinary moments is heightened by the awareness of their fleeting nature. Each instant, once past, can never return, and in this impermanence lies a poignancy that elevates even the most common experiences. To notice the delicate shimmer of dew upon the grass, to savor the aroma of freshly baked bread, to feel the warmth of the sun upon one's face for a brief, perfect moment, is to engage with the transient in a manner that imbues it with enduring significance. Thursday, like all days, is comprised of such ephemeral wonders, and it is precisely this transience that magnifies their beauty, urging us to attend, to cherish, to hold within our consciousness the fleeting sparks of grace that define life's truest joys. In human relationships, too, there exists a subtle beauty that is often unrecognized. The quiet understanding shared between friends, the glance of recognition from a stranger, the warmth of a companion's hand resting briefly upon one's own. These moments, unassuming as they may seem, carry the essence of connection, of love, of shared existence that imbues the day with meaning far beyond the visible or the measurable. Thursday, when approached with an open heart, offers innumerable opportunities for such connections, and the conscious acknowledgement of them transforms ordinary interactions into extraordinary experiences, revealing that beauty is inseparable from attentiveness, from presence, from the gentle cultivation of awareness in all things. Thus, the subtle beauty in ordinary moments is not a triviality, nor a mere decorative quality of life. It is, in truth, the very fabric of existence, the thread upon which the tapestry of joy, wonder, and fulfillment is woven. Thursday, September the 18th, stands ready as a day in which these threads may be most keenly observed, most fully appreciated, most joyfully celebrated. To step into it with open eyes, with attentive senses, with a heart attuned to the small yet radiant wonders of daily life, is to experience a form of transcendence that is gentle, sustaining, and deeply nourishing. As the day unfolds, one may notice the interplay of light upon surfaces, the rustling of leaves, the laughter that echoes from a distant playground, the soft murmur of human voices blending with the sounds of nature. All these compose a symphony of ordinary beauty, waiting only for the listener to perceive it. To perceive it is to partake in it, to carry it forward into every thought, every action, every glance shared with the world. Thursday, in this sense, is not merely a calendar marker, it is a vessel for appreciation, a container of wonder, an invitation to celebrate the beauty inherent in the commonplace. And so, to walk through Thursday with attentiveness is to enter into a covenant with life itself, to honor the fleeting, to recognize the unnoticed, to find the extraordinary hidden within the ordinary. The day becomes beautiful because one's consciousness aligns with the subtle rhythms of creation, because the heart is willing to be touched by grace, and because the mind acknowledges that even in the simplest gestures and smallest moments, the infinite expresses itself with clarity and charm. Thursday, September the 18th, invites us to witness, to rejoice, to engage fully in the quiet magnificence of the ordinary, and in doing so, it promises a day that is luminous, generous, and suffused with gentle wonder. Every glance, every sound, every touch, Every fleeting encounter is an opportunity to see the beauty that has always been present, waiting to be recognized, and waiting to transform the day into something remarkable, not by outward spectacle, but by the inward awakening of the heart and the attentive delight of the soul. There is an invitation implicit in every morning, an open hand extended by the day itself, calling us to embrace life fully, to meet whatever comes with courage, and to carry gratitude and wonder in every step we take. Thursday, September the 18th, is no exception. It stands before us not merely as a date on the calendar, but as a living opportunity, a space in which the soul may stretch, the heart may expand, and the spirit may rise to meet the rhythms of existence with awareness and intention. To embrace life fully is not merely to survive its hours, to move mechanically from task to task, but to inhabit them with consciousness, to recognize each breath, each glance, each fleeting encounter as a gift, and to respond with the reverence and joy that such gifts deserve. The act of embracing life is, in its essence, a participation in beauty, an acknowledgement that every moment holds within it the potential for meaning and grace. Courage, then, is not only found in grand gestures or heroic acts, but in the subtle fortitude with which we face ordinary challenges. It is in choosing patience when provoked, kindness when slighted, hope when discouraged. Thursday offers innumerable opportunities for such courage, often in forms so small that we may overlook them: the quiet decision to forgive, the humble willingness to listen, the gentle act of service performed without expectation of reward. These are the moments in which the soul flexes its strength, demonstrating that bravery is not always loud or conspicuous, but often resides in the delicate and persistent alignment of intention with goodness. To meet the day in this way is to recognize that every hour carries with it the possibility to act nobly, to live faithfully, and to participate in a narrative that transcends our individual concerns, connecting us to the timeless rhythm of life itself. Gratitude is the companion of courage, a lens through which the world reveals itself in heightened color and clarity. To walk through Thursday with gratitude is to notice the sunlight spilling across pavement, the laughter of children echoing down alleyways, the subtle kindnesses of strangers, the texture of a leaf, the murmur of a river, the perfume of flowers carried on the wind. Gratitude transforms these simple experiences from mere occurrences into touchstones of joy, anchors that remind us of the inherent goodness embedded in life's fabric. It is not a fleeting sentiment, but a cultivated awareness, a way of seeing that elevates each moment, infusing it with significance and opening the heart to the hidden richness that lies in every corner of the day. Wonder, too, is essential in this embrace. It is the recognition that life, even in its most ordinary expressions, contains mysteries that beckon the mind and delight the heart. The first rays of dawn, glinting on dew-kissed grass, the fleeting brilliance of a bird in flight, the interplay of shadow and light on a city street, all are small marvels, unnoticed by many, yet capable of stirring profound joy in those attuned to their presence. Thursday offers a canvas for wonder, a space in which attention and imagination may meet, creating a tapestry of experience that is both rich and deeply satisfying. To cultivate wonder is to refuse to accept life solely on its surface, to seek, to explore, to delight in the layers of meaning and beauty that permeate existence even in its quietest, most unassuming forms. Embracing life fully also means accepting the reality of challenge and imperfection. No day, however promising, is free from difficulty, and no individual moves through the hours without encountering obstacles. Yet it is precisely in facing these realities with courage, gratitude, and wonder that the fullness of life is revealed. Each difficulty offers the opportunity for growth, each disappointment the chance for reflection, each unexpected turn the occasion to witness resilience and grace in oneself and others. Thursday, September the 18th, is beautiful not because it is without trials, but because it offers a space in which the ordinary struggles of life may be met with extraordinary presence, and in so doing, transformed into lessons, memories, and experiences suffused with significance. Participation in life also demands attentiveness to the small joys, the ordinary gifts that accumulate to shape a day into a meaningful whole. The warmth of the morning sun upon one's skin, the quiet satisfaction of a task completed, the flavor of food savored slowly, the smiles exchanged with acquaintances and loved ones. These are the threads that, when woven together, create the fabric of a day well lived. To embrace Thursday fully is to recognize that each thread, however slender, contributes to the overall pattern, and that the conscious acknowledgement of such gifts cultivates a life that is rich in both depth and texture. Moreover, the act of embracing life with gratitude and wonder transforms the very way we perceive others. Each person encountered becomes not merely a passing figure, but a fellow traveler in the journey of existence, worthy of respect, attention, and kindness. Small gestures of compassion, patience, and understanding ripple outward, affecting not only the immediate recipient, but also the world at large. Thursday is replete with such opportunities, a day in which one can choose to make a difference in ways both visible and invisible, in moments that may seem inconsequential yet carry the power to shape the character of the day itself. Time, in this context, becomes both precious and sacred. Each hour, each minute, each second is an invitation to live deliberately, to engage with life's offerings fully and without distraction. To move through Thursday in this manner is to step into a form of communion with existence, a recognition that the mundane and the miraculous coexist seamlessly, and that our perception of each shapes the reality of the day. By embracing life fully, by acting with courage, and by carrying gratitude and wonder in every step, we align ourselves with a current that runs deeper than routine, a current that flows through the ordinary toward something transcendent, something enduring, something profoundly beautiful. And so Thursday, September the 18th, is more than a day, it is an invitation, a challenge, a gift. To walk through it with presence is to witness the ordinary transformed into the extraordinary, the fleeting elevated into the eternal. Every encounter, every action, every sensation becomes an opportunity to participate in the beauty and richness of existence, to affirm life with conscious intention, and to leave an imprint of grace, courage, and wonder upon the hours. It is in this embrace, this deliberate inhabitation of the day, that the true promise of Thursday is revealed, and that the heart, attentive and open, discovers the quiet, persistent joy that lies at the core of being. To meet life fully is also to recognize that our engagement with the day shapes not only our own experience, but also the experience of those around us. A kind word spoken at the right moment, a listening ear offered without judgment, a gentle smile exchanged in passing. These acts, small though they may be, carry the power to elevate others, to illuminate the path for fellow travelers, and to contribute to a collective sense of beauty and grace. Thursday, then, is beautiful because it is a stage upon which these interactions may unfold, a space in which attentiveness, courage, gratitude, and wonder converge to create a day that is at once ordinary in its structure and extraordinary in its lived experience. And as the day progresses, we may find that the act of embracing life fully deepens, that our awareness grows, and that the ordinary becomes increasingly luminous. The sunlight may shift from sharp brilliance to soft gold, the shadows lengthen and merge in gentle patterns. The sounds of the world change with subtle rhythm, and in each of these shifts, the attentive soul perceives opportunities to act, to observe, to wonder, to be grateful. Thursday is thus not static, it is a living, evolving presence, responsive to the consciousness that engages with it, shaped and colored by the choices, attitudes, and attention of those who inhabit its hours.